Welcome back to the fourth part of our course on data science. So today we're going to just talk about data analysis. Just like the previous three chapters, or two chapters, we're going to break this up into three levels. The first level is going to be kind of just the basic inferential statistics, kind of what you're going to apply to um, a lot of data types where you're taking all those tools that statisticians have really developed over the last 200 years and just applying them to your data. The second level is going to be kind of taking some of those statistical level skills and applying computation to them and kind of using some of these machine learning techniques. And then the third level is really attacking machine learning in a really advanced sort of way. And so we're just going to kind of talk briefly about these things. And as you jump into more and more data science and start learning it for yourselves, you'll really talk about the level 2 and level 3 stuff, and application of these things is really a great way to learn it. So I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time talking about those things, but I am going to talk about some of the trends in data science. And then just kind of give an example of kind of the level one stuff as well. And we'll dive more into that when we do our Excel demonstration. All right, so level 1 stuff, a lot of the level 1 data and becoming a data scientist is kind of understanding these really pervasive tools and skills that we have in have been developed for data science. So and statistics. So one thing that you'll see a lot of times is this bell-shaped curve, this Gaussian curve, and what we call it in data science is a normal curve. And it has a number of rules that describe its behavior. And understanding what those rules are is really important. And so, and also understanding when you can use those tools that have been applied to this Gaussian curve, and when you can't apply them. So one thing about data, and one of the things that we learned about data visualization, is that we really need to understand what our data look like before we can actually apply these statistical tools. And so if your data, after you draw a histogram, fits some sort of model that looks like this, then you can probably apply a lot of the kind of classical statistical tools. Once you start to deviate from these shapes, there are other distributions that you can apply different tools to, so Poisson distributions and other types of distributions. And you should start to understand some of those things as well as kind of this level 1 data scientist level, so you can really dig into the data and kind of apply meaningful analyses on it. So the tools that you kind of want to be familiar with, you really want to be pretty competent, using Excel, for example. And if you look at their data analysis toolkit, you should understand what those processes are doing. So that's kind of the level 1 data analysis. Level 2, you're really jumping into, more of the computer science side of things, where you're going to have to be bringing things in and applying maybe machine learning techniques, or again, you might be dealing with big data, and so you're going to not be able to deal with it as easily in a spreadsheet. Where you're going to have to apply some sort of data frame from either R or Python, or and really figure out and deal with data from a code-based level. And so again, you can do a lot of the things that you can do in Excel or Power BI using code. You can figure out the mean, the median, generate histograms and all those things. But in addition, you're going to start applying some of these machine learning techniques. And the reason that you're going to be doing that is because machine learning has some advantages over kind of our classical skill sets. And so, for multidimensional spaces, especially large dimensional spaces, some of the same structures that you're going to use for like trend lines and best fit curves are just faster to machine learn, surprisingly. So it's a great kind of synthesis of kind of those statistical skills that you kind of understand and learn to apply at the level 1 level, but then start to apply it through code. And then extend that a little bit with machine learning. So one of the things about data science is it's really making this interesting transition at this point, where some of the algorithms that people are generating for machine learning and some of these neural nets are so much better at predicting things that people just apply them and say, hey, these are going to be some fantastic results. And so level 3 is really kind of being able to apply things like Microsoft Cognitive Toolkit or TensorFlow and attack problems, not just from, hey, somebody wrote this algorithm that's really good at recognizing handwriting, I'm just going to apply it, but being able to attack and write some of your own code that's being able to use these tools that take advantage of your graphics processor that can basically spit out a bunch of different hypotheses at once and then analyze those hypotheses very quickly. And so you're really going to be digging into the computer science side of data analysis. So the one that's really the skill that's really taken kind of hold in the last couple of years is neural networks. And so I think that's probably right now kind of the level 3 skill set, but data science is evolving very quickly. So there may be some new data structure that some data scientist comes up with from kind of that white castle of data science where it's really figuring out how to deal with data best rather than the application side. And they may come up with some other tool that works better, but your goal as a level 3 data scientist is be able to either build your own tools, or if you're just applying those tools, really understand what those tools are that somebody else built. And so both of those are really valuable skills for the level 3 data scientist. And so what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to use Microsoft Cognitive Service. You want to be able to use TensorFlow and Keras. You want to be able to use Torch at that level and really understand what you're doing. So data analysis is a really fun part of data science. For me, data visualization and data analysis are, well, actually all three pieces are fun, but it's really fun to just finally get your data. You've spent all this time organizing your data. You kind of have a sense of how that data look and kind of their core pieces after visualizing it, making that, and then you're now like finally getting able to jump in and see the results. And so and that's what makes data analysis so fun, is you're finally, all your hard work from before is finally paying off, and you're like, okay, I'm going to actually do stuff. And it's a small piece of the data science life cycle, but it's really a fun place to be. So that's about it for data analysis. Hopefully, as we jump into the Excel, you'll kind of see some of these level 1 applications, again, from data organization to data visualization and a little bit of data analysis kind of come together. So thank you so much.